What up, y'all? What up, y'all? How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? We are going live here right now. We are doing that wrestling. Hold on a minute. Glad you just gotta do some shares here. Well, All right. So, this is King Mumbles, got wrestling-ish. We're just going through the week of what was going on in pro wrestling. Um, Impact, Ring of Honor, which is part of, partly part of Impact, partly part of AEW, um, WWE Raw, SmackDown, AEW Rampage, Dynamite. Tomorrow we will be doing a special watch party for the AEW pay-per-view, which is going to be Forbidden Door, which is putting together um, AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling, which is very interesting. Not sure how much of a connection it is getting done, but I definitely do like um, the acknowledgement of other visions. One of the things I used to always hate about WWE was the pretending that these other divisions and these other federations don't exist. The whole, you know, down south and stuff like that in Atlanta. I used to really annoy that. So we're just gonna do really a quick run through of a review of what has happened this week on the different shows. If you do have any questions or things like that, definitely come into the um, definitely make sure that you do put them into the post. And if you do want to join the review and come up here, you can definitely do here. I am going to be putting up the link there, so you can definitely join here. What we are going to do is we are going to be starting it with Impact Wrestling. Um, Impact Wrestling is, you know, kind of the forgotten little brother um, of wrestling. Everybody knows about WWE. Oh, are they gonna be able to take over? But Impact Wrestling, you look at it, the TNA to whatever, it's had its ups and downs, but it's been around for now 20 years. It's had its TV time, and um, I like what they're doing really right now. They've got a bunch of the guys from the closed down Ring of Honor, and they're doing the that Honor No More type gimmick and whatever, which it's not a copy of the New World Order or anything like that, but it is very there are some similarities, like very much like what they're doing with that. They just had a Slammiversary um, just over a week ago. I like because they honored AJ Styles and WWE. You can tell that how they don't fear Impact is WWE allowed him to do a video message. It'd have been even better if they allowed him to show up, but let him do a video message to at least acknowledge the existence of Impact Wrestling, which I thought was good. So they did start the night with the guys from Honor No More, which is former Ringer of Honor guys, and Eddie Edwards, who has switched sides. They lost at Slammiversary, talking trash. Then James Storm and Chris Harris, if y'all know America's Most Wanted, who are Impact original, they've been there from the beginning. They came out, and then to back them up, the Good Brothers, and then the Briscoes came out and, you know, cleared the ring, did that whole thing. So you can see that they're setting up the teams, I believe, at the Against All Odds, which is July 1st. We could have a 10-man battle, so Honor No More versus Impact, and those are the guys that are going to be representing them. So they always got to set up that feud and stuff like that. Um, I actually like the whole thing that they're doing with Eddie Edwards because I very much kind of agree with him on he's not really been given the respect that he fully deserved in the system there because he has carried this on his back for a while. So then they had Mia Yim. Remember, she's moved over from WWE. Now she's at Inco. Both of these used to be in WWE. Chelsea Green and Mia Yim. I'll be honest. I've never been the biggest Chelsea Green fan, but I understand she does have her following and her gimmick, especially in Impact Wrestling. She's now teaming up with Radha. They're kind of, doing the whole duo, but you know that they can't trust each other. So eventually that's going to break out. They had a very good match, very competitive. Both of these, Corrado was helping her cheat until Mickey James came out to even the odds. And then Yim won the match. So you have Jordan Grace as the champion. These girls are kind of the four right under her. Um, they haven't announced it yet, but there are rumors of a tag match getting pushed through. James and Yim versus Parada and Green. You had Johnny Swinger and Zicky Dice. If you remember, they were part of getting trained by most professional, what's his name, going against the new guy, Bakinder Gujar and Shark Boy. Shark Boy's always been a comedic, he kind of does like a shark, but also does a half stone cold gimmick, kind of funny type thing. They gave Gujar the win, so it looks like they are giving him a little bit of a push. We'll see how far that goes and how much they push in there. Because I'll be honest, I feel wrestling in general had a kind of racial issue of pushing people that are not blue-eyed blonde hair. So we'll see exactly where that one goes. Then they kind of got beat up and pushed out there by Violent by Design, Dina and Joe. Okay, and I like Matthew Renwald on the mic. Oh, he's funny. Yes, the Shark Boy is gonna finally become Shark Man. It's kind of funny. So you had Diener challenging Josh Alexander. Basically, um, Josh Alexander just beat Eric Young at Slammiversary. He's going against Doring at the next pay per view. So I don't know if they're just having him walk through, go through one by one all of Violent by Design. You know, Diener put together a good match. The whole crazy stuff like that did very well against the more technical of Alexander. And, if you know Diener a couple of years ago, the change in him is much better. But he did definitely, of course, this was very predictable. Alexander won, did a tap out, the walking weapon. So they're really pushing up Alexander as a very dominant threat there. Okay, so they had Sammy Callahan. Slammiversary, he fought Moose and won. So they had him in a match against the winner of that gut check tournament, Jack Price. I don't know who Jack Price is. Actually, didn't really check that gut check tournament there. Um, then afterwards, that was just to get Callahan out there. Moose, of course, came out and attacked Callahan, not accepting his loss. So it looked like they um, might be setting up another match for the next pay per view versus Moose. Callahan went to Gail Kim, who's an executive there, and demanded the Raven Clockwork Orange House of Fun match, which hasn't been done in over a decade. So um, I believe more than likely, you know, they just didn't really have anything else to do with those guys. And they just, both of them are good names. Both of them are um, good for the pay per view and whatever. And they put together a good match. So they just had to find something to, something to put them on the pay per view. So I'll make them rematch each other again. Okay, then they had the six-man tag of Honor No More, Mike Bennett, Matt Taven, and Eddie Edwards against Briscoe Brothers. Briscoe Brothers, I have to say, have been one of my favorite tag teams for probably the last 5, 10 years. And Cowboy James Storm, and I think James Storm is, he hasn't really he was in WWE, but it didn't really get successful. I think he's one of the most underrated wrestlers in the recent years. With a great nonstop action back and forth between them. Um, the Honor No More, they took the win, so it was kind of boosting them up because they just lost at the pay per view. They had to kind of push them up to make sure that the faction didn't look weak, you know, make people lose too many times, and they definitely hurt hurt the whole image of the structure. So that was Impact. It was pretty good. It made Honor No More look very strong. Um, I'm guessing that Mark Briscoe might be out. What they did after the match, they messed up Mark's ankle, wrapped it in a steel chair, and did some damage. So I'm guessing that they're doing that to take him out. I think it was a very good match, a very good event. They're setting up for the July 1st event, and I think they did a good start to that. Okay, so that was on Impact. So, what did you guys think of Impact Wrestling, or did you guys watch Impact Wrestling? Did you guys like it? Did you guys see Slammiversary? So they do have some matches announced for Against All Odds. So we got Joe Doring versus Josh Alexander for the Impact World title. We got Tasha Steele, who was the former women's title, against Jordan Grace for the Impact Knockouts title. We got Moose versus Sammy Callahan in a Ravens Clockwork Orange match. And we got the Honor No More, which is going to be Eddie Edwards, Kenny King, Matt Taven, Mike Bennett, and Vincent versus Game Storm, the Briscoes, and the Good Brothers. Good start. We'll see what else they come up with there. They still room for one or two more matches here. Yeah. Right. So, first Monday we had Raw. So, of course, they're building up for the Money in the Bank ladder match that's going to be coming up as well. They are also actually giving some promo and some build up for things that the SummerSlam, which could be coming in August. The Raw opens with Bianca Belair coming out. She did the announcement that Rhea Ripley is supposedly injured or unable to perform, which is kind of bad. I think I was really looking forward to this match. So basically, they did another fatal five-way with Liv Morgan, Carmella, Asuka, Becky Lynch, and Alexa Bliss. Okay, so then all of the girls did their whole, come down, do their trash talking and whatever. Um, in the end, they were doing a lot of different spots there. Becky Lynch is really playing her role well. I don't know who Liv Morgan knows or who Liv Morgan is sleeping with or what she's doing while she's still at a job. They're not utilizing her. She's not good. Like, I don't like Carmella wins. She hit a super kick. Like, I don't understand the point of Liv Morgan. I just don't understand what her point. Like they never build her up. They never give her that win. Like they just really truly make her pointless. And it's not like she deserves a spot. Her in-ring stuff is not incredible. The match was okay. It wasn't great. There was some cool moves with back and forth. They didn't have too many of the girls in the ring at a time, which I thought was smart. Okay, so they had a Money in the Blank qualifying match with Riddle versus Omos. It was okay, Riddle did some moves, did some things, and whatever, but Omos eventually just caught him in the air, dropped him in one, and stuff. So this is like lost the title. Like I don't know what they're doing with Riddle either. He lost the tag titles, lost to Roman Reigns clean, which bothered me. Like I don't understand. You didn't have to make him lose clean. Like there was enough different things that you could have done make Riddle look better by not making it such a clean win, and then now you made him lose to almost clean. So I'm not sure of what they're doing with Riddle, but they need to put him into some type of feud where he's not going to get beat up so easy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, what? Trying to get a jump start. It's a smart strategy, but the bell hasn't rung yet. Yeah, like he's trying to weaken Omos before the match officially begins. It's a whole lot easier.
okay, so they had Jey Uso versus Angelo Dawkins. Um, basically, because the Usos are going against the Street Profits for the tag titles for the Money in the Bank there. I like that they used Angelo Dawkins because everybody's given love to Montez Ford, And Angelo Dawkins is underappreciated. You know, he's a big guy who's very athletic and can put together some matches there. Um, so I like that they gave Angelo Dawkins some chance to shine a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He's very good on that.
You got
They pushed more promo of the Bobby Lashley versus Theory for the United States match there. Um, they actually are having um, they actually brought out Elias in. So it looked like they with Ezekiel. So it looked like they were doing some fake beard, some camera tricks and whatever, just because how well Kevin Owens plays it is what's saving that whole gimmick there with the Elias thing. I have to admit that. So get Lashley to get his United States title shot at Money in the Bank. They had a gauntlet match. He had to beat Chad Gable, Otis, and Theory. So Gable was up. I like Gable. Like they really need to keep that tag team and Otis. They really need to push that tag team. Like they have to separate the tag belts because they have too many good tag teams that are not going to be able to get utilized with the Usos having the both belts. It was okay. It was very predictable. Lashley won all three. Um, they actually brought out Elias to do a song. He had a beard. Somebody said if you had HD TV, I watched it on my HD TV. It was easy to tell that it was fake. I definitely thought it would look good, and I thought it was very smart. And that whole thing with Elias, I thought if they're going to continue on with it, I thought it was a smart way to do it is bringing back Elias. You know, even fake beard or however they did the beard, you know, um, playoff. See, that's my brother type situation. Okay, so then they had Miz TV, which featured AJ Styles. You know, so they had the conversation there. Okay, so you know, of course, Miz eggs him on until he gets punched in the face. Then he gets attacked by behind by Ciampa. I've always liked Tommaso Ciampa, and I liked him before he was in WWE, but they need to explain more of exactly why. And seeing him against AJ Styles would be amazing, but exactly why Ciampa is doing this backing up of these people and doing the grunt work for these people. They haven't really given him any story or mix or whatever. It's just random and on it like a match between Ciampa and AJ Styles will definitely be amazing, but they really need to put some meat on that storyline. Okay, so then they had um, a mat. The main event was Asuka and Becky Lynch fighting a second time. This time was to see who would make the Money in the Bank. Of course, it was a great match. These guys have wrestled each other so many times. You know, they they've got great chemistry. They put together great matches. Um, Asuka took the win, and Becky's reaction was just as perfect as always, freaking out. And so um, I don't know what they're doing with Asuka. Like, they're not really putting her over the edge. They're just giving her the, like, bare minimum. She'll win a couple, but she's not going to win any big ones. So I'm not sure what the plan is for her. But I do like what they're doing with Becky Lynch there and stuff. Like, if they're not going to give her the belt, how they're utilizing her, I think, is very smart. Overall, I think Raw was pretty good. I think they did miss a bit of not having anything there with, um, Finn Balor and Edge, and that whole storyline was totally not even mentioned. And that kind of was noticeable to me, but Rhea Ripley being gone, and they haven't really said what the injury is or why. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on there, but I'm hoping if that doesn't really affect the faction. Okay, all right. So NXT, we'll do that quickly. So, we have Carmelo Hayes going against Tony D'Angelo. Um, and the main story about that is the whole, you know, storyline of the family issues, and how Escobar has to work for him. So we'll just go through it quickly. It's NXT. So it starts out with Grayson Waller going against Sola Sokoa. Um, so if y'all don't know, Sola Sokoa is the younger brother of the Souls. When he gets to WWE, like because everybody knows, they have to have a good plan of how to utilize that. He's pretty good in the ring. Like I think I might like him better on the mic than Uso, especially when they start. So, and in the ring, he seems pretty solid. It, he worked well. Grayson Waller kind of reminds me of Miz, of his character ability is much better than his technical ability. And that's what he brings to the table there. So Waller snuck in a win there, which is okay. Like, Gore's won a lot, but we'll see how it goes. And, you know, both of them, I want Sakura to have the North American title. I don't know what I want to have happen with Waller, but I definitely want Sakura to get that. Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. I'm kind of annoyed that they didn't win the title against Toxic Attraction. They've been they've been killing it for a while, and they need to give them some big wins. Like they had them do well. It was supposed to be a squash match against them, Elisa Leon and Valentina, but for Roz, but it was an actual pretty good match. You know, they put on some good moves there. They had the other guys, um, Joaquin and Cruz de la Toro against Roderick and Kemp of Diamond Mine. Um, the the D'Angelo family kind of messed up. They tripped Del Toro by accident and had Roderick get the win. So obviously they are setting up that this whole family gimmick, working is not going to last much that long, and they're gonna have to, fight it out again to have Legado del Fantasma, you know, definitely break off again back into some freedom and somehow. They had a pre-taped after that. They had a pre-taped um, interview with Wendy Chu. Um, I'll be honest, I wasn't interested. I don't like Wendy Chu. The whole baby gimmick is kind of weird to me. Tiffany Stratton, I don't know what she's like in real life, but this whole gimmick that she has seems very, very. Okay, so we have Toxic Attraction, coming out causing, you know, talking trash to Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade and them come out and challenge for the tag titles. I like that Hannah, Chance, and Kaden Carter came out and kind of took offense um, at getting bumped off. It showed a little bit of heart. It was, not a great promo. None of these people are actually great, but I like the setup of the matches there. Um, I'm not sure what they're doing with Apollo Crews, but when they brought Mandy Rose down to NXT, it definitely improved her career. So let's see if um, Apollo Crews can get a bump. It helped in Balor as well. So
Malik, don't even worry about it, man. We can't just be moping around. I know we lost that match, but we win some and we lose some. All right? Let's go to the club, have some fun, talk to some women. I'm gonna go get dressed in the car. What's up, guys? Hello, Camry. Where are you heading off to? I went to the club. I mean, it is the biggest night of your guys' career, right? But what happened out there?
Had a championship match.
No, say it how it was, man. You lost the championship match.
We'll get another opportunity.
But will you, Idris? Will you get another opportunity? I mean, haven't you guys been working hard for this opportunity? I think you have. I mean, I know you have. You guys have been busting your asses. For what? And you think it's just going to keep coming? You think there's just going to be more opportunities? No, man. We're doing what we want to do at the place that we want to do it. And you think it's just okay to leave before the show's over? You think it's just okay to leave before the main event? No, I understand, man. You got to get to the club, right? That's the problem with these guys. You got all the athleticism in the world. You look like a freaking statue, man. You could be the biggest star this company has ever seen. But you're not hungry. Basically what I'm trying to get at is I don't want you to waste your talent. Because Cameron Grimes doesn't waste his.
So, Cameron Grimes is going against, going for the heavyweight title now that he lost the against Braun Breaker at the Great American Bash coming up. So as a setup, they had him face Idris Inoue. You know, you knew that Cameron was going to win because of the match coming up, but you know, Idris with a chance for Idris to look good and show some impact, and you know what I'm saying. So it was definitely, you know, it was definitely a good match. It could have been longer. You had Braun Wagner who beat Brooks Jensen. Not feeling that feud. I'll be completely honest. It was a pretty easy, clear win. You know, reheard him. Alba Fire versus Last Legend because of that tag. I know a lot of people don't like Last Legend. You know, she's still a little bit of a rookie and stuff like that, and not the greatest technical, but I see a lot of potential in her, and she has a lot of energy and stuff like that. In a couple of years, I definitely do see she has that star charisma. You know, so and then they had the Carmelo Hayes versus Tony D'Angelo. Right, you know, it was a good match, back and forth. Carmelo, I definitely, you know, amazing. Um, Basically, at the end of the match, Tony D'Angelo asked for the knuckles and kind of did the, you know, the been done in WWE things recently a couple of times where he pretended to accidentally pass them off to Carmelo, um, and Carmelo used them for the win. It was a good match. Could have been another one that could have been longer. Like both of them, the Dawn actually surprised me with some of his technical ability. I was really impressed on that. But we'll definitely we'll definitely see where this goes, and if they're going to have this fake, you know, team going past the Great American Bash, or if that's when they're going to do the split up here. SmackDown, I'll be honest, I was not really too impressed with the SmackDown. It was okay. Um, so started off with Drew McIntyre coming out, and then Sheamus coming out to talk trash to him, and then Paul Heyman and Adam Pearce came out and said that neither one of them are in the Money in the Bank. For them to make it to the Money in the Bank, they have to beat the Usos. Like them got them rather been tag teams for decades and stuff, so they hate each other now. But you know that it's a very predictable ending of what's going to be happening there, and there was not a need for that to happen there. So we had Shinsuke Nakamura versus, the honorary Uso, Sami Zayn. Okay, so again, these two, it's going to be a great match. It's not anything surprising on that part. What what did surprise me is that Zayn won, and Zayn, you know, you know, Zayn's making it to the Money in the Bank. So they had a New Day versus Shanky and Jinder Mahal. And at the beginning of it, New Day were basically saying that they didn't want to do another rematch there. And instead, they wanted to see Shanky dance, which is funny. The whole Shanky thing, because he looks so happy when he does it. I don't mind it. It's funny. It's, it's silly. It's thing, and everything like that. But I don't mind it. Some people think it's corny and stuff like that. I think it's kind of funny and stuff like that because there's not. You're either gonna do that or the same boring monster type thing like that. Like, eventually they will have to break it, but for now, I think it's going to be okay. So while they're doing that, Viking Raiders came. It looks like they're doing a heel turn. They came, beat up Shanky, and the New Day left them laying. So it looks like they will be setting up a New Day versus Viking Raiders match there. So then Sonya Deville, after that, in the back, Sonya Deville went to Adam Pearce complaining about not being booked in matches, which made me laugh after what she had done, uh, with what's the name, week after week, not putting her in matches when she came to SmackDown. So um, then she was rude to Adam Pearce. So Adam Pearce put her in a match versus Raquel Rodriguez and Lacey Evans. And I say, I hate that name change. I think we're like, it's not a comic book thing where everybody has to have alliteration. Raquel Gonzalez with a better name. And I'm kind of confused. they haven't fully known, is Lacey going to be a heel, a face? They really need to push that more. It was a good match. For the It's hard. You usually don't have baby faces on the 2-for-1. Um, at the end of the match, Sonya Deville had Xia Li and Shayna Baszler back her up and jump the baby faces, but Rodriguez and Evans ended up winning against the three of them. Like, yeah, it was kind of weird because Sonya is supposed to be the heel, but when you have her in the handicap match and she's taking on the two, it does make her look more to be like a face. So afterwards, they had a segment of Natalia came out dressed like Ronda Rousey, talk her down, and everything like that. Then Ronda came out and threw some personal shots. Like it really seemed like it definitely came through as like Ronda really kind of um really went at Natalia with some of the personal jabs and everything like that. And with Ronda supposed to being a face, it was kind of underhanded and stuff like that. So it was a little bit, you know, I don't know how well played it was. But I'm excited for the match a little bit. I don't see any way Natalia winning, which that kind of bothered me there. Um, then we had Gunther in a rematch versus Ricochet, because you know that they're pushing Gunther. Um, like you knew that this was really just a match to make Gunther look more dominant and more unstoppable, which it did, and like Ricochet is very good at that, and it did pull off what it did, and it worked well on that. But we will see exactly where this takes Ricochet, because they're underutilized. Okay, and then they had okay, so it was supposed to be Aaliyah versus Shotzi in a money event qualifying. She got injured. There's a lot of injuries this year. So Tamina filled it in. It was, blah blah. It was a yeah type of match. I don't really talk about it, but Shotzi won, and then afterwards, Pat McAfee has challenged Happy Corbin for SummerSlam. So they said they're building up SummerSlam as well. Um, I don't know what they're doing with the whole Max Dupree. I'm not even going to talk about that there. And then the main event, we had Sheamus and um, McIntyre versus the Usos. The Street Profits were out there, so they got involved. And of course, at the end, it was a good match. They didn't need that commercial break. the Usos lost, but it was a lot of confusing, so it didn't make them look too weak, and stuff like that. Even though it does make McIntyre and Sheamus both now in the Money in the Bank, which I'm guessing Roman did not want. So overall, I think Raw was better than SmackDown this week. Um, but it was a good, okay build up. They're just really trying to stretch out the matches for the Money in the Bank, and as I said, for some reason, and a little bit of SummerSlam. They've got Brock Lesnar back, and he's going to be facing um, Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. But Roman Reigns not in the Money in the Bank. Okay. All right. So we're gonna do AEW afterwards because we're gonna talk about the pay per view as well. So we're gonna talk about some rumors. So there's a rumor that Triple H might be coming back as a more active role, not wrestling, but as an active role in WWE. He took a step back after the heart problems there, but definitely with Vince McMahon stepping away with the controversy, we could definitely see him taking a more active role. Let's do some rumors before we go. So it looks like Stephanie McMahon um, might be taking over as the new head at WWE there. It looks like next week, all of the Money in the Bank participants will be on SmackDown there. more rumors, and then we'll go see. Not really any big rumors or anything like that. Stephanie Ripley's probably okay. So they're saying Ripley might have had a brain injury. Okay, so let's talk about AEW in a minute or so. Okay, so tomorrow we have um, Forbidden Door, that pay per view with AEW and New Japan Wrestling. So a couple of matches, a lot of match, of course. Everything was about the build up of that there. So first, Brian Danielson comes out to announce the reason he's not on Forbidden Door or Blood and Guts because of injuries. There's been a lot of serious injuries in all federations. It's been a pretty injury prone um, last couple of months here. He said that he definitely will be back. Um, so it's not a permanent thing injury, but he definitely um, won't be in the last two. But he does say that he has a replacement. It's like a new member of the new member of the crew. He said it's another technical, you know, wrestling star there. I'm really trying to figure out who is the replacement of Danielson there. Um, loved the trash talking of Danielson. You know, nobody on who he's going to be facing there. I want to really trying to figure out who it might be. Who do you guys all think it would be? Who do you think would be what I found? It is he said how Chris Jericho paid Zack Sabre to prove that he was better than Danielson, and Danielson did not. So definitely he noted. I'll be honest, not up on new Japan wrestling that much. So um, I'm not sure exactly if some of the names I've heard, but I've not seen a lot of the names. Okay, so then there was a triple. They had Orange Cassidy and Roppongi Vice versus Will Ospreay and Aussie Open from New Japan. So basically, the two different crews there. On Sunday, Orange Cassidy is going against Will Ospreay. Um, and I believe that the Fungi Vice is in some type of tag match with um, Aussie Open and um, FDR and stuff like that. It's supposed to be a big tag match. So it was a good match. It was like, everybody was showing what they could do. And, like Aussie Open, like they're kind of huge and strong and, you know, like it was pretty impressive for a guy that I haven't really seen there. So, I was pretty much impressed with this match because, three of these guys I've never really seen that much of. Orange Cassidy with a Orange Punch one. Then the other members um, of Will Ospreay's the United Empire crew came out to try to jump them, but then FDR came out, backed them up. Um, Christian Cage came out to discuss why he backstabbed um, Jungle Boy, blah blah. Normal talk. And it was a very basic heel, type turn and stuff like that. You know, talk down his mom, talk down Jungle Boy's father. I didn't know Jungle Boy's father is Luke Perry. Oh, that's kind of interesting. I'm the only thing interesting about it is to see what happens between Jungle Boy, Christian Cage, and Luchasaurus. Is how he was able to talk down Luchasaurus. So um, we will definitely see where that goes and if this is over for Jurassic Express. And, you know, we'll definitely see where that goes there. What did happen? And you kind of fooled him by saying, remember what happened with Marco. And I don't actually remember what happened with Marco. And I was always wondering why he wasn't on the TV there. But I think they were definitely better with him, you know. It was like Christian can do that smarmy little thing. They had a match for that All Atlantic Championship to qualify for the four-way match. Penta, Spuro versus Malachi Black. You you know, there's been that Death Triangle, House of Black um, feud for a while there. This match was incredible. You know, like both of them got hurt, both of them put out their all, and near the end, injured back on Penta helped Black win. So now we've got Malachi Black, Pac, Miro, and it was supposed to be Tomohiro Ishii, but it seemed that Ishii had gotten injured and definitely he's got a replacement as well there. So I forget who his replacement is, but Ishii's gotten a replacement there. Okay, so they had Hangman Page versus Silas Young. If you watch Ring of Honor, you'll know who Silas Young is there. Very old school, you know, 80s like type styled wrestler, but very, very good, very much um, a great match there. It was a pretty good match there. Them guys have fought each other a lot of times. Of course, Page won. Um, and then Jay White and Adam Cole. It looked like Adam Cole was gonna, you know, attack Jay White, but then they teamed up and beat up on Hangman. And then this brought out Okada. who is going to be at the the Forbidden Door pay per view, and they cleared the ring, and it seems that it was setting up for a four-way dance there for the IWGP World Title that Jay White has. It's supposed to be Jay White versus Adam Cole versus Page versus Okada, which got to be a great match. Then you had Tony Storm is going against Thunder Rosa at Forbidden Door. So we had her battling Marina Shafir, who's rolling with Nyla Rose. The great match, Shafir dominated. I've never been really impressed with Tony Storm, but she got the title match coming up, so of course she won and stuff like that. So, and then it was Chris Jericho and Lance Archer versus now part of the Chris Jericho Association, which is such a stupid name. With John Moxley and Hiroshi Tanahashi. John Moxley and Hiroshi Tanahashi, they're going to be going against each other at Forbidden Door for the interim AEW title. So my thing about it is, unless you are really following New Japan, because like I said, I'm not a follower of New Japan that closely. The issue is that they didn't build any storylines. It was really just a lot of, they took the best from here and the best from there, and hoping that that's going to be good enough. I can only imagine the matches are going to be great, but there's no real stories behind it. Okay, and yesterday we had um, Rampage. So, know, so we had Andrade El Idolo against Ray Phoenix. And you knew that Andrade was gonna win this one. They did each one, you know, did what they did best, and they worked well for the Andrade. Of course, they had some nice sequences back and forth. So, and then you had Serena Deeb and Mercedes Martinez that are rolling together, and they faced Laney and Lux and Sierra, which I have no clue who they are. It was a quick match. Um, you know, Deeb and Martinez, they played off each other well. Um, I wouldn't mind seeing Luck and Sierra more, but I really didn't know who they were. Then they had Hook versus EKC. I really don't like how they book Hook. They make him. They're almost making him like he go, doing the whole unstoppable. He can take down anybody and stuff like that. And it was really just another short and like we have a match. Like he really needs to have a real match. Okay, then we had Jeff Cobb and Cash Wheeler. Um, those are the build up for the know Jeff Cobb is the IWGP tag title, one half of that holder, and Josh Cash Wheeler from SDR. They have the Ring of Honor ROH tag titles. It was a good match. I would have to say, honestly, this is before the pay per view event. Like I know Rampage is like kind of the smaller of the two shows, but this was a before the pay per view match, and this was not a very good before the pay per view episode. It did not do nothing to build the pay per view. I was very much let down by it. But we will definitely be here tomorrow for the pay per view. So let's go over the card and we'll have a good day. So the card is we're gonna have FTR versus United Empire versus Hungry Vice, and the winner is going to be the ROH and IWGP tag. I'm looking at our FTR taking that. Okay, and then we have Young Buck and Elf and Asmo. Hercule, I think those are Bullet Club members going against Sting, Darby Allin, Shingo Takagi, and Hiromu Takahashi. I have no clue who those are. But I think Sting will win that. We got Will Ospreay versus Orange Cassidy. I really want Will Ospreay to win that one. We got Zack Sabre Jr. versus mystery opponent. I have no clue who. I don't know who the mystery opponent would be. And we've got Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, and Minoru Suzuki versus Eddie Kingston, Wheeler Yuta, and Shota Umino. You got to give Eddie Kingston a win, or it's just been too much. We got Thunder Rosa versus Tony Storm. Do not give Tony Storm that up. She's not ready and not helping the All Atlantic Championship. Miro versus Malachi Black versus Art Connors versus Pac. I know they want some international things, so I don't know if that like how much they're gonna show this on TV. So Clark Connors could win, but I'd like Miro. And you got Jay White versus Kath Okada, Adam Cole, and Adam Page. IWGP the World Championship. Jay White should win that. And John Moxley versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. Um, I could see them giving it to Hiroshi just to have that Hiroshi versus CM Punk eventually. But I think it's better if John Moxley. All right, so we'll be back tomorrow. The pay per view is 8 p.m. Eastern time. Join us. We'll probably start a little bit early, maybe 7 o'clock. Do some talking and everything like that. Holla, peace out, everybody. That wrestling. Like, follow, share. Check out your boy.